Next one's from Alexis Figueroa, and the subject is Santana indie book as it's supposed to be. Hello, team. I noticed that Konnan confirmed the issues between Santana and Ortiz recently. I found out that Santana is the LAWA heavyweight champion. That is a local Puerto Rican location that is run by the Colones. Question is, Konnan, do you plan or have plans to work with the LAWE? And Disco, Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat was done using your likeness. You should check it out. Interesting. Joe, pull up an image of Johnny Cage. You got it? Oh, wow. Joe's been kind of on point this week, Konnan. Have you noticed this?
Not really, but
I've noticed it. We're not having to wait forever to get. Actually, you know what, Joe? You did screw up once because you looked at Halloween Havoc instead of Right.
There's Johnny Cage, the action figure. There's Johnny Cage in the video game.
Pull up. That's not. That looks more like Max Dupree than it does looks like me.
Yeah, I guess he's talking about the hair.
I get, bro. It looks like kind of like a little bit like a combination of me, the Miz, and Max Dupree. Would that be an accurate description of
I
character?
was gonna say a mix of you and Miz.
Yeah. All right.
You know, before we move on, I got dragged on the YouTube a little bit because when Konnan initially answered the Santana and Ortiz, do they have heat question? He answered it and we kind of moved on, and everyone was like, Joe should have asked follow-up questions and got more out of him and stuff. So is there anything further?
Well, you're not the hard-hitting reporter on this show.
Thank you.
So that's
what I said.
Right. Yeah. So that answers your question. Whoever.
Yeah.
So to all the people on the YouTube. Oh, I want to get actually.
You know what I said? You know what I said? I said if these guys want to talk about something, they will talk about it. Me asking ain't going to change that.
Right. We're not a news. We're it's Konnan with our producer Joe. Me and Konnan have known each other for over 20 years, and we wanted to do a podcast to talk about things that we like, which is sports, wrestling, music, politics, just like the advertisement says. The stuff, everything, and that's all this is. And to discuss these things that our listeners know what we'd like to talk about, to generate discussion, they will send in mailbag questions. Okay, and that's what we do. We read the mailbag questions because usually they're kind of on topic of things that we like to talk about, So, but I want to go to I'm gonna try and find. I'll try and find it. Joe, go to the while we're doing this, go on the YouTube and go to where Konnan and Disco review AEW Dynamite, and there's a long-winded response of a guy that says that our review is terrible.
Okay,
actually, let me try and look here real quick. I could. Hang on. But I want to address what this guy said because this guy brings up a point. Maybe I can find it here real quick. Here we go. Here we go. I got it right here.
Dose of Reality 420 guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, let me read this.
It's up
okay.
on the screen too.
All right. So here we go. This is a guy, our review of the show, okay? This is an AEW review, okay? This guy says, I've listened to quite a few episodes of the channel for over 2 or 3 years now, but this is my first time hearing you guys review any AEW programming. Usually I listen to your comments on certain topics, but never a show review. I don't watch WWE. I follow AEW, Dark Elevation, Rampage, Dynamite, Impact, MLW, AAA, CMLL, IWRG, plus Japanese and independent wrestling. As far as show reviews, this is absolutely the worst review I've ever heard. A bunch of people have no interest in the product, don't know 90% of the talent working on it, and it's not a good look. If you're not going to follow it correctly, don't talk about it. How about someone stealing a AAA Lucha podcast who's never seen it before and they only watch a few highlights each week before they review your product? I guess people are so stupid today that they will listen to anything, including a bunch of people reviewing another product they don't even remember if they saw it or not. All right, so let me address you, Mr. Dose of Reality. We have said repeatedly on the show, we're not the type of, we're not watching these shows from start to finish to give you an educated analyzation of the show top to bottom. We watch the stuff, and I've said this before repeatedly. I'll watch AEW usually from start to finish, but I find myself fast forwarding through a lot of stuff because that's what the show does to me personally. It's like we're not going to be like Dave Meltzer, where they say they have to watch the whole show start to finish to talk about everything. If the stuff is interesting to me, okay, we will discuss it more. We'll see more of it. We'll watch more of it. But when it's not interesting, that usually correlates to when the show is not really doing that good in the ratings. And we, by watching it that way, are kind of giving you a feel of why the show is not doing well in the ratings because it's not really interesting to us like it's, and interesting other people too. Like, so we're not going to, when we review these shows, we review basically what happened It's not a dissection move for move like Cornette does and like Dave will do a review of the show. We try to watch these shows, and if they're not good, we'll labor through them and have to end up fast forwarding some of them. But when the shows aren't good, we're not being forced to watch it. So we're not like a professional show reviewers. We watch a show and we tell you what we think and think mistakes that they're making and things that they're doing good, period. All right. So would you agree with that, Konnan? That's a good summation.
Well, I would just say that I really don't give a what this guy says or thinks, because he's saying that we don't really watch the shows. So how do we review them if we don't watch them?
Right. Yeah.
Number one, we've been reviewing every show for the last 3 years since it started. Every single show, every pay-per-view, and even some rampages. I've worked on the shows as talent. I've been backstage.
Right.
Okay? Their champions are Tay Conte, Sammy Guevara, Omega was our champion, the Young Bucks were our champions, FTR our champions. What do you mean I don't know about the product? No, what I don't know is when they bring Japanese girls that I've never heard of in my life, and they don't introduce me to them. It's like watching UFC. At least every fight, they show you this is the fighter, this is the other fighter, and they give you like a 1-minute promo on each one so you kind of know about them. And you don't go in there with your eyes blind. Right. You just said that you watch every promotion under the sun. AAA, CMLL. You watch more than I do. So all you do is watch wrestling.
Right.
You're probably mad because you're a big AEW fan, and we didn't put it over. It's very simple. It's like any other wrestling show that we review. Some is good and some isn't. All right?
To us.
We're not going to bury everything just to get over with the other crowd, and we're not going to put over everything for the same reasons. And you probably come from the generation, with the Tide Pods and the Cinnamon Challenge and the group hugs. So get the on out of here.
All right, there we go. That was that's going to be a good clip on YouTube.
Yo, what up? This is Konnan, and I host Keeping It 100, my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!